Hello everyone. Welcome to Nanuya channel. And today, we're talking about something that affects billions of people every single day: social media. It connects us, informs us, entertains us. But beneath the likes, shares, and viral trends, there's a darker side, one that impacts our mental health, our privacy, and even the way we think. So today, we're peeling back the filter and exposing the unseen dangers of social media. Stay with us. Let's start with something personal: mental health. Have you ever felt anxious after scrolling through Instagram? Or maybe you've compared your life to someone else's seemingly perfect posts. You're not alone. Social media platforms are designed to keep us engaged, but that constant engagement can lead to anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. A 2019 study from the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology found a direct correlation between high social media usage and increased feelings of loneliness and depression. What happens is that people start measuring their self-worth based on likes and comments. The dopamine rush from social media validation creates a cycle that can be hard to break, leading to addiction-like behaviors. And it's not just about validation. Doom scrolling, endlessly consuming negative news, can increase stress and anxiety levels. Cyberbullying is another dark reality, with young people facing harassment that follows them even after they log off. A 2020 Pew Research study found that 59% of teenagers in the U.S. have experienced some form of cyberbullying, and reports suggest that online harassment can have severe long-term mental health effects, including PTSD and increased suicidal ideation. So, what can we do? Experts suggest practicing digital detoxes, curating your feed to include positive and educational content, and seeking offline connections to maintain a healthy balance. You may think you have nothing to hide, but what if I told you that your data, your habits, preferences, even your location, are being collected every second? Platforms track everything, selling this data to advertisers, and in some cases, even government agencies. A 2021 investigation by The Markup revealed that Facebook collects data from over 52,000 different sources to build targeted ad profiles on users, even if they've never used Facebook before. But it's not just social media companies. In 2023, a report from Cybernews exposed how third-party apps, including fitness trackers and weather apps, were selling user data to advertisers without explicit consent. This included sensitive information like sleep patterns, movement tracking, and even private messages. People don't realize how much information they're handing over. Every like, every search, every interaction is logged, analyzed, and used to predict your behavior. Companies use this data to influence what you buy, what you watch, and even what you believe. And the worst part? Many of us blindly accept terms and conditions without reading them. Have you ever scrolled through a privacy policy? Exactly. Most of them are intentionally long and confusing. Beyond ads, there's also the risk of data breaches. In 2019, a database containing personal details of over 530 million Facebook users was leaked online. This information included phone numbers, email addresses, and even location data. And let's not forget the Cambridge Analytica scandal, where millions of Facebook profiles were harvested to manipulate voter behavior. So, what can we do? Start by adjusting your privacy settings, using encrypted messaging apps, and being mindful of what personal details you share online. Also, consider using browser extensions that block tracking cookies and ads. We live in the age of information, but ironically, misinformation spreads faster than the truth. Social media has become a battlefield of fake news, deep fakes, and algorithm-driven echo chambers that reinforce our biases. Think about the last time you saw a viral post that turned out to be false. A 2018 study from MIT found that false news spreads 6 times faster than factual news on Twitter. Why? Because it triggers stronger emotional reactions, outrage, fear, or excitement, which makes people more likely to share it. The algorithms prioritize engagement, not accuracy. The more sensational a post is, the more it spreads, creating a distorted version of reality. This has serious consequences, from influencing elections to spreading dangerous health misinformation. And misinformation isn't just political. Health misinformation, like false COVID-19 cures, has led to real-world harm. During the pandemic, fake treatments like consuming bleach or hydroxychloroquine went viral, leading to hospitalizations and even deaths. Scammers also use social media to spread fraudulent investment schemes, fake giveaways, and phishing attempts. In 2022 alone, the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, reported that social media scams led to over $770 million in financial losses for users. So, how do we fight back? Be skeptical. Fact check information before sharing. Follow reputable sources. And avoid getting trapped in echo chambers by diversifying your news sources. Social media companies also have a responsibility. Pressure them to improve content moderation and misinformation detection. So, what can we do? Social media isn't inherently bad. It's how we use it that matters. Here are a few ways to protect yourself. Set screen time limits. Use apps like Apple's Screen Time or Google's Digital Wellbeing to monitor and reduce your usage. Think critically before sharing. Verify information through fact-checking sites like Snopes, Reuters, or the BBC before spreading it. Be mindful of your mental health. Take breaks from social media, especially if it's affecting your mood. Adjust your privacy settings, review permissions for each app, and limit data collection where possible. Diversify your content. Follow a mix of sources to avoid getting trapped in echo chambers. Use privacy tools. Install VPNs, encrypted messaging apps, and ad blockers to minimize data tracking. Social media should be a tool, not a trap. Let's use it wisely. That's it for today's episode of Unfiltered. If you found this discussion eye-opening, share it with a friend. Follow us for more deep dives into the digital world. Until next time, stay curious and stay aware. The word anxious refers to a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something uncertain or potentially negative. In this context, it describes the emotional distress people may experience after scrolling through social media, often due to comparison, negative news, or overwhelming content. The word measuring in this context means assessing or evaluating. So when the sentence says, people start measuring their self-worth based on likes and comments, it means that people begin to judge their own value or self-esteem based on how much engagement they get on social media. Doom scrolling refers to the habit of continuously scrolling through bad news or negative content on social media or news websites, often leading to increased stress, anxiety, or depression. It keeps users engaged in a cycle of consuming distressing information, which can be harmful to mental health. Cyberbullying refers to bullying or harassment that takes place over digital devices, such as smartphones, computers, and tablets. It involves using social media, messaging platforms, or online forums to intimidate, threaten, or humiliate others. Examples include spreading rumors online, sending hurtful messages, or sharing private information without consent. Cyberbullying can have severe emotional and psychological effects, including anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. Online harassment refers to abusive or threatening behavior that occurs on digital platforms, such as social media, messaging apps, or online forums. It includes cyberbullying, doxing, revealing private information, trolling, and sending harmful messages. Online harassment can have severe psychological and emotional effects, including anxiety, depression, and even PTSD.